A third culture kid is the person who has spent a significant part of his or her developmental years outside the parent's culture.
I am Chinese American.
I'm South African.
I'm British and Canadian.
I guess for me, home would be at wherever I am, I guess, because my family lives in Korea, but I've been living in California for most of my life, so it's kind of between the two of them, but I plan on moving around more in the future, so I guess my home would be wherever I'm currently living.
So home for me is where my family is. I feel most at home when I'm surrounded by my two brothers and my parents. Because I've moved around so much in my life, like usually when I've moved to a new country, the old country that I used to live in feels like home.
As I've moved around, I would say family is my home, so wherever my family is. But I guess now that I'm at college, it's hard to say where home is. It would usually, I just don't associate home anymore with family. I guess it's just wherever I'm most comfortable. And so right now, I guess there is no home. I guess I'm in that transitioning phase where I'm trying to develop my own life and
adapt really quickly to wherever you are. You know, you learn to be independent and figure things out by yourself. Change is not a big deal. You're actually pretty much addicted to change.
You get to see the world, experience different cultures.
Self-dependence and the responsibility that comes out of having to move around and restart your life a lot.
You never feel like you really fit in because background culture is one thing and then the way you grew up is different. I speak English, my Chinese isn't very strong, so when I talk to my grandparents, it's a bit difficult to understand them sometimes because they have a different dialect or we just have that language barrier going on.
Cons are you're forever moving, like you're never settled in one place for a long period of time. No one place feels like home. Sometimes home is actually so many places, or sometimes home is just where you are at that moment.
It comes in terms of like a social disconnect.
I want to be a teacher. I went to an international school for my junior and senior year of high school. It kind of inspired me to become an international teacher and teach at international schools.
I want to get a job that allows me to move around so much and like see the world and experience the world, because my whole life I've been moving around from one place to the next and I'm not used to being in one place. So problems is just fitting in, really. The only reason why Korea feels like home to me was because I went to an international school and I was surrounded by all other third culture kids. Like the TCKs, we have to stick together because we understand each other. Then when we go to places where there are people who haven't lived overseas, and like they aren't TCKs, they can't understand us, but we all understand each other because we understand these feelings that we have from moving around and living in different countries so much. South Africa is the only place where I've ever felt like an outsider, and it's the one place that I shouldn't because I am South African, but I didn't grow up there. I did not have the same upbringing as all the people there. In South Africa, like, I was judged because everyone thought that because I lived overseas for most of my life, that my family was really rich and we really weren't, because my dad's company paid for everything. So then everyone just assumed I was some rich child that got this amazing opportunity to live overseas and therefore I was more privileged than them, when that was not the case. And they were jealous of me for something that I was jealous of them because they had a stable life. They didn't move around that much.
I think every time you move to a new place, you're an outsider. A lot of times, like I wouldn't be there for long enough to ever really connect with anybody, so it's a constant feeling of being an outsider, but I think, again, that really helps it can, I mean, I think you can go either ways. It can really help you become a stronger person and do better once you kind of move on from your family and go out into the world, or it can, I don't know, damage you in whatever way if you couldn't handle being an outsider. But I think that's more of a rare occurrence. I think most people benefit from moving around.
And these problems that we have not fitting in are in fact universal because all of us go through this.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I mean, it can go, there's a lot of different experiences people have, but I do think there's a general outsider experience, and whether it's beneficial or not is hard to say. It's important to know that, it's whatever you make of it.
The friends you make in that circumstance is like really precious to you. I like to believe that wherever I go, there's always open doors for me.
Even though there are many obstacles you will be encountering, as long as you know who you really are, the path will be open to lead you to the right direction.
In addition to our racial and cultural backgrounds, our experiences also define us as a person.